Yes. We are live.
All right. Welcome
Yes.
everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Life Indeed, the podcast where we discuss about the life the way it is not. So
Yes.
today we have a very special guest in joined by us today. So her name is Shikha, and to talk about her a little bit, she is a head of talent acquisition. She is working as a director in a multinational organization. But on the top of that, she is a speaker. She loves podcasting as well. She is a mentor to many, and above all, she's a great human being. She's a great individual. And the fact is that I have been talking to her today. We never talked to each other in the past, and we have been talking to each other today. And the kind of conversation she was having with me, I definitely felt that she same the certain, I mean, same sort of values that we hold. She loves to share her experience with the society and make everybody learn from her. So we are really excited to have her. Without a further ado, I would like to invite her and let her talk a bit about herself.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome, Shika.
Thank you,
Welcome to Life
Piyush.
Welcome.
Indeed.
Thank you for having me here. And yes, we spoke a few times, but I think the connect was instant, right? Like your show says, get people to talk their hearts and minds. I think that is where I relate to the whole concept. You've already
Absolutely.
introduced me, but yes, I'm an HR professional. It's been almost 2 decades. And talking to people, networking, sharing my personal experiences, making sure at least somebody benefits at the end of the day, right? Some takeaway in some form, in some fashion. A lot of extensive experience in campus hiring. So, influencing the youth and young professionals is something I love doing, right? I am connected to many of them on a one on one basis, right? Mentoring them, coaching them, and at the end of the day, yeah, this is the future of our country, right? If we don't
Absolutely.
do it, who else will do it? And
Absolutely.
I came across what you guys have been doing, and it just struck a chord, right? This is a platform where people speak their hearts out, what they want to do, what they've been through, uh, what is their current situation. I think that is what makes it interesting, and I'm so glad to be here today. Seriously, thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Shikha. Thanks a lot for accepting our invitation. And today it's our 13th episode actually. And you might be knowing that I have been uh, gone through a COVID experience, and
Yes.
last week I was not able to attend our podcast episode, and Tosif did it really well. So today it's definitely for me personally, it is one of the special episodes because I am also trying to get back onto the track. So thanks a lot for accepting our invitation. So Shika, please share something about your some childhood memories, or what exactly you wanted to become, and I mean, what how was your childhood? Basically, we would love to know that.
Sure. First of all, I hope you're feeling well. I did see that you were down with COVID. I think you fought it very nicely. You're a fighter and you're back with a bang. So
Thank
good,
you.
good to see you, Piyush. Childhood, I think the best, the best period of anybody's life, but especially mine because maybe thanks to my parents again, I have no contribution in that arena. So I was born in India, but then my father decided to leave India for an international opportunity that he got. And then, I mean, we started from one point and then we traveled and traveled across different countries, continents, and then came back to India after a good 24 years. So all
Oh,
my schooling, education, everything has happened abroad. So I have more international friends than Indian friends. And those days, Piyush, we never had Facebook and WhatsApp and all that. So everybody has become a very nice memory, right? Childhood, it's been very enriching. from Africa to Europe to Mauritius is what I very clearly remember. Last 15 years that my father was working over there, right? French is their language, learned French, picked up their dialect, which is Creole. I think it's been an amazing journey. How people are so different culturally from background, lifestyle, food, habits, right? And you connect, you relate, and you love learning about them, love knowing about them, right? There are very peculiar forms. So, for example, Mauritius, right? They start early. They start at say 9 o'clock in the morning, and their offices close by 5. After 5, it's their life, right? So you want
Okay.
to party, you want to network, you want to connect, you want to do family gatherings. It's their life. And 10:30, they're like, boss, done. Now go to bed. Again, the day starts.
It's a
So
country
every
tradition, right?
country, huh?
It's I think it's a whole country tradition there. Is it about
Yeah, it's a
entire
country
country doing
tradition.
following the same thing?
Correct.
Oh,
So
that's
their
interesting.
offices operate between say 9 and 4:30 or 9 and 5:30, and the whole country operates like that. And they were so they follow the French culture. The French have been dominating that island for very many years. So it's I mean diverse friends. I mean I have people who speak Spanish. I have people who speak French. English is anyway a common thread between all of us. But yeah, it's difficult to trace some of them back, but it's been a very enriching childhood. Trust me. I think
Okay.
thanks to my parents, I got to travel so much. I got to see the world. I got to learn so much. Right? Little things, right? You don't. So, for example, in Mauritius, you really don't say. The way to say hello is not to probably shake hands. You hug each other, right? Cheek to
Hmm.
cheek. That's how you say hello. And when you're growing up as a teenager, first time you feel it very awkward. Why is this guy coming close to me? Right? But that's the way entire country says hello, right? They would greet you that way, and over a period of time, you get used to it. That's their
Hmm.
way. They don't shake hands, but then they hug you, right? Or very rare community will say, "Okay, namaste," and they have a different accent in which they speak Hindi. It's not like namaste, it's like namaste, right? So, yeah, it's fun. I mean, you get to connect with so many people who are so different, but yet the whole world is a global village, right? We're all part of
So,
this universe. So it's been a great life so far. So I don't know what part of my childhood should I call out, but yeah, diversity, different languages, different cultures. You get to know. I do follow a lot of languages. I can speak French very fluently. I can speak Creole because that was my
wow.
longest stint in Mauritius. But and I'm still connected to those people because by the time I was in college, so yeah, we managed to trace each other on Facebook. We have a WhatsApp group, and I sent him this invite saying that, guys, I'm going to revive school memories. Dr. Maurice Curie State Secondary School is where I studied from. So I think all these girls must be watching our show, saying that, okay,
Right.
yeah, we have our buddy there. Why not?
So I think Shika, this leads me to a question that because of the fact that you have been uh, living in different countries, mostly because of your father has been lived into multiple countries, and you majority of your life has been spent in different countries. So what is that one thing that you really loved about India when you were there, or you missed about India that when you were there?
Oh, everybody used to talk about the beauty of Taj Mahal, right?
Hmm.
And I said, whenever I go to India, guys, first thing, let's just go to Agra and see the Taj Mahal, right? This white marble, shining epitome of love by Shah Jahan, right? If I've got the name right.
Yeah, yeah.
So my very first visit to India was, come on, let's go see the Taj Mahal, right? And how people, I think that's one thing which is very talked about. The culture that we have, the Indian culture, the way we guys celebrate our festivals, right? The affection and care we have towards our families. So the culture, the value system, and the spirituality that our country
Hmm.
has. the richness of spirituality, not religion, but spirituality. I think that is what is India known for. And you know,
Mm.
I mean, as an Indian, I take great pride saying that we are teaching the world, that this is the value system, this is our culture, this is our spirituality. But yes, Taj Mahal, as a child when I was growing up, so Mummy, Taj Mahal to dekhna hai. And let's go. And yeah, I did. We did go to Taj Mahal.
You'll be surprised to know that Taj Mahal is just like 70 to 80 kilometer away from here, and I have never been there.
You should
You
imagine.
don't value what you have.
And I think when I went to Taj Mahal way back in the 90s, we were in Europe. So what we used to do, Tausif, is we used to come to India every year in December, spend that 1 month with, so that, we as kids understand ki chachi kya hoti hai, mummy, bua, right? All these relationships. Because for me and my brother, everybody was auntie, uncle, right? You don't know maternal kya hai, paternal kya hai, so you're trying to differentiate. So dad would say, guys, your 1 month vacation time has to go. It has to be in India. You have to meet all these people. You have to learn about them, our culture, and all that. So every year we used to come to India, and during that visit, one of those visits was to the Taj Mahal. You should go. And this is, I think, 15, 20 years back, and I was mesmerized. It was beautiful.
So,
So,
Shika, would love to know that is there any specific incident or an experience of your childhood which has impacted your overall personality, which you have currently because of all these diverse experiences. But did you
yes.
have any specific experience which has impacted your overall life,
Yeah.
I
specifically
will tell you.
childhood experience?
I
Yeah.
will tell you, yes. And I felt very bad about it. You brought that memory back. See, you don't connect with people unless you know their language.
Right.
So when we landed up in Mauritius, right, everybody would either speak French or Creole, which was the local dialect, right? English is an official language, okay, you speak it at school or you speak it in offices, blah, blah, blah. But if you have to make friends, you have to know the local language. And I think I was just about, I think, 12 or 13. And I was like this child who was, or teenager rather, left alone in the class. People wouldn't connect. Oh, she doesn't know the language. Every time you have to speak in English. And I was not up for learning the language because French has one of the most complicated grammars in the world. Just like Hindi, right? If I can compare, it's like kursi girta hai versus kursi girti hai. Even in French, articles have genders. I was
Okay.
like, good Lord. I mean, at the age of 13, or yeah, 13, correct. I cannot learn this. I mean, it is too difficult. But then my brother and I realized we didn't make friends. We couldn't make friends because you can converse with me, for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Right after that, everybody switches to the local language. So it
Mm.
happens in India, right? Everybody switches to Hindi because that's more
Yeah.
comfortable. Then, we said, boss, something has to be done. And my dad was dead for that you have to learn this language. And both of us were like, no, it's just too complicated. Pagal ho kya nahi kar rahe, please. Forgive us, spare karo. Then he realized, acha, how's school going? Acha, we don't have friends, hum akele hain, this, that. So he said, okay, shall I get you a French tutor? Let's learn it. And that's where the journey began. So every day she would come home, she would spend about an hour and a half, and she would teach us. And we started from A, B, C, D. So, I mean, those days were difficult, honestly, Piyush. Those days were difficult because you are in a new country, you're trying to be inclusive, you're trying to get assimilated with the system, you're trying to make friends, you're trying to become pally. Nobody would share notes, nobody would share food. 6 months, and that's it. There was no looking back. After that, yes, buddy, chalo, let's go shop, let's do this because you could connect. Pehले करे, हाँ, she's just one of us. And then when we went to France for a trip, and this tour guide
Mm.
was like, "Oh, Indians speaking French." I said, "Yes, Indians can do anything." Why do you think Indians cannot speak French? And then she became friends with me and my brother, and I think when we were teenagers, and she took such good care of us. You know, Indians speaking French so flawlessly was amazing. This is way back in 90s again. So I think that incident impacted because we became loners, we were sidelined. You know, as kids, you feel terrible. You're
Right.
not a part of the
Absolutely.
entire class. क्योंकि हाँ बस अलग कर दिया. Nobody wants to even socialize, communicate.
Mm.
Yeah, took 6 months of hard work to learn that kursi girta hai and kursi girti hai. Feminine versus
I think
masculine.
it's a terrible experience indeed. I mean, if somebody leave me in an island wherein I don't know local language, I would feel lonely even if I am surrounded by the people. So I can
Correct.
definitely understand from point of view. So, Shika, I think you have an amazing experience of different cultures. You have been to different countries, as you rightly mentioned, and you speak a very good French as well. Though we would not like you to speak French over here on this podcast because we would not understand any of that.
I can at least say one sentence, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't look
please.
like.
Definitely, you would have a freedom to say that, but not more than that.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna say what? Good evening. How are you? Right.
hmm,
So, bonsoir. Comment ça va? Bonsoir is good evening, and comment ça va is how are you? I
at
Okay.
mean,
least
yeah.
we would remember that.
But I think you must be one of the very few Indians who can actually speak
Hmm,
French.
That's how the
very
people
less.
in France reacted. Indian speaking, and then speaking it so fluently, speaking it without any, accent. I think because we learned it as children, so it came easily to us. Though I know what a struggle it was. My French teacher, we used to
Hmm,
think of, oh, Mama, stomach ache ho raha hai, headache ho raha hai, because we know the tutor will come at 5 o'clock. All that. I mean, at the age of 12, what else will you do in life? You're not
Of course,
serious,
of
right?
course.
But then, yeah,
But I
that's the
think
way.
I think it's very interesting and a very important point you have brought, that language plays a big,
hmm,
big, big role in our life. If you cannot communicate, basically the communication, just not about the language, but it's about the
hmm.
communication, that what exactly you
Absolutely.
want others to do, or what exactly you want to tell other people, that is very important.
And Piyush, it still holds true. I'm in Karnataka, based out of Bangalore, right?
Okay.
Even here, if you have to deal with the house help, right, the maids and the cooks and the gardeners and all that, you have to. I mean, I've learned those little phrases so that I can connect. They can follow me and
Absolutely.
I can follow them. Otherwise, they will say, "काम नहीं करना है, bye bye, madam."
True.
Okay.
True. I mean, it's really fascinating. No, you are ready to pay, or you are ready to do everything, but it just you are not able to communicate with her. Then she is not comfortable.
She's not
So,
comfortable.
I mean, the
Correct.
communication is so much important.
Absolutely. So, Shika, I would just like to basically discuss about. So, you are into mentorship as well. So, as you mentioned in your introduction, that you communicate with many such people and you coach people. So, tell us something a bit about what you do. How do you help people,
I
basically?
mean, in actually, Shika, really sorry to interrupt, Tausif, but what exactly happened then afterwards? That you were in Mauritius, you learned French and all those things, but then how you decided that you
Yeah,
want to go into the human resource and such kind of career? How was, like,
into
how did you
mentorship and
take
all.
that decision?
Okay, so let me tell you what happened after I finished learning that language. I never spoke, for 6 months, right? Because I wanted to give a shocker to my class, saying that, "Look, मैं भी कर सकती हूँ, boss. Even I can
Hmm.
do it," right? They're like, "What happened to you?" Like, see, here I am. There's nothing difficult. Once you have the willpower, you can achieve whatever you want. Now,
Hmm.
and then yes, there was no looking back. Now, to what you're asking, Piyush, I think in my case, maybe even in my brother's case, parents have acted as a big guiding force. right?
Okay.
So
Mm.
he's like, you are a person who loves to talk, who loves to network, who's very good at, even at school I used to do some motivational speeches for my
Oh,
class.
really?
Yes, I was the prefect of my class, and I used to do all that. So you're good at talking, you're good at speaking, blah blah blah. You connect with people, you love to network, and I loved to travel as well. So why not explore something like human resource management, or maybe why not explore
Mm.
something like marketing? So I said, okay, chalo, let's think in that direction. And I said, no, boss, forget it. You have to be an HR person. You cannot be anybody else. But you're two, if I ask you, and he still laughs about it, two plus two, my answer would be five. So you're not cut out for finance. You're not cut out for all that. You have to be an HR person and you should do an MBA in human resource management, blah, blah, blah. So I think they gave me the right direction and I kept following that. And I resonated with what they thought because they know me as a person, they know me as a personality. What would I be capable of? I think that way parents play a big role in everybody's life,
Right.
right? If
True.
you have, and
Mm.
in my case, my dad is a PhD in operations research from Delhi University. So he himself has been in the field of education. And
Mm.
then mom is a master's in economics and English literature. So I think that background gave them a flavor of what I can do, who I am, and stuff like that. So they gave me the right guidance, and I started reading. I mean, I think towards my graduation, I started reading some HR books, and I got fascinated. Not books, really, articles. I'm not a book
Mm.
reader. Book nahi hota hai. I mean, you see the thickness of the book, you're put off, right? Some small articles on the internet. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a book person. Don't tell me read 20, 30, 40 pages. But yes, I read articles, I read stories, snippets, some HR articles. Yeah, HR sounds interesting. Chalo, HR ही करते हैं. So that's how
Great.
I
So,
landed
did you
up here.
know anyone else before you decided, or your parents, basically thought that it was a better career for you?
I didn't ask anyone because, frankly speaking, my parents have always decided for me. And so far, so good. They've always taken the right decisions because they
Mm.
kept telling me and my brother, "Boss, you have to learn French." Right. First of all, it's the third or fourth largest spoken language across the world. Right. It will
Mm.
also open many career options for you and stuff like that. But we as children never wanted to listen to him. But when we were, kind of boycotted by the class, that's when we realized, no, no, we have to learn it, and we managed to. So, yeah, and they have invested a lot of your time, effort in grooming me, my brother, who I am, preparing him, through an IIT entrance. He's an IIT Delhi pass out, and then he went on to do his MBA at IIM Ahmedabad. My dad is associated with IIM Lucknow, right? So that whole background of education,
Mm.
studies, career coaching, he coaches many students one on one, right?
Okay.
Mm.
So he does that. So I think maybe it runs in the blood somehow, right? And he's a well-known name, and people like, "Acha, unki beti," and I look like him, so that's another problem. Kind of a stuff. We're very alike, father and daughter. It's a Dr. Gupta ki beti hai ye. So that's how I was always, Abhi, kuch to, Dr. Gupta is anyway giving me the right advice, so I should listen to him. So I think, yeah, the whole environment at home has been that way, right? That you have to invest time in your children, you have to groom them into successful professionals. Not only that, but make them good human beings at the end of the day. And
Mm.
even at this age, whoever approaches him, he will say, "Huh, tell me, what's your problem? Let's sit down, talk." People who don't want to do MBA but want to move to management roles, he will say, "No, you should have a chat with me." After that,
Mm.
chat should decide whether you want to do MBA or not. So he keeps doing all that stuff, and I think I'm inspired by him. He is my role model. I mean, nobody else, whether it is his scholastics or his career throughout his life. So when he left India, he was serving as dean at IIT BHU, and then he got a
Okay.
foreign assignment, and from there to there, finally we came back to India. He joined IIM Lucknow. So I think, not I think, I for sure know he is my role model, and I'm trying to So he's the Amitabh Bachchan of my life. So if I become Abhishek Bachchan, better than Abhishek Bachchan, I'm good enough. So I'm still not there. Still trying.
Okay,
I think it truly reflects in the way you are actually speaking. You know,
absolutely.
those values are definitely reflecting in the way you are actually communicating, and you sound so humble, in spite of having so many degrees, knowledge, experience, cultural, you know, values and everything. So, I mean, this is actually reflecting the way you're talking. So, uh,
I owe
yeah,
it to
Piyush, I think
him.
you would have, yeah.
We just owe our lives to our parents, right? I think they take so much of time, effort, energy, care, right? We all have our mood swings. Our generation is different. Our generation
Hmm.
after us is even more different. But truly, we owe our life to our parents. They do the best, they
Absolutely.
decide the best. Whether we acknowledge or not, it's a different thing. But yeah. So for
I
me, he's my role model. So I've been trying to follow his footsteps, and a lot of other people in the family saying that उनके जैसा बनना है. So try करो, मैं भी कर रही हूँ. So that's where it
I
is.
think I just have one question which is striking to my mind, right? In continuation with the fact that you're actually role modeling your father, and as you have mentioned about, he has a lot of accolades, and he has been a very, very literate, and has worked in several countries on very respectable positions. So, what are the couple of things that you have learned from your father?
Oh, okay. One is I think how do you get serious towards anything that you do in life? Right?
Okay.
He always used to tell us, boss, marks, right? Whether it's your 10th standard, 12th standard, grad, post grad, your marks, your achievements will take you a long way. Tomorrow, I don't want you to be sitting somewhere and comparing yourself to say, Arey, that person is at a much better position versus me. Somebody has put in that hard work to crack a CAT exam or a GMAT or an IIT JRE, blah, blah, blah. So you have to do that hard work. Time to enjoy, to party hard, to do all that, बाद में भी आ जाएगा. I mean, your life is not over. Your life is just started. So be serious for whatever you're pursuing, whichever goal you're pursuing in life. You have to be serious about it. No fooling around, no joking around. And second thing is strike a balance between what you want to do. You want to enjoy, you want to work hard, you want to party harder. Strike a balance. Third, integrity. I mean, he cannot either there are blacks in his life or white, black or white. There are no grays. Whoever minces words or tries to lie or tries to be dishonest, he will write that person off. So sorry, you and I are not meant to be.
Hmm.
That's it. You have to be stark honest. And I have noticed that with many of our people in our country, what do you call them? छोटे छोटे झूठ बोलते हैं.
Hmm.
Just to avoid the situation.
Hmm.
He's like, no, you tell me whatever the reality is. जो भी है, we'll deal with it. But Hamisha, you have to say the truth because you're going to say something right now which is not appropriate. Then usko hide karne ke liye will say something else which is even more inappropriate. And then you have to keep reminding yourself what are you telling five different people. Because if you just speak the truth, you speak the truth. You don't have to exchange notes. You don't have to worry. You don't have to do anything. So he is like,
True.
होमवर्क किया है या नहीं किया है? नहीं किया है तो नहीं किया. किया है तो किया है.
Hmm.
Or I will do it after 2 hours, or yeah, or have you submitted the assignment at the college, or have you submitted your presentation for the viva, या जो भी है. It has to be stark truth. नहीं किया, no problem, tell me what help do you need. So I think these are the three things that have always, and he's like that. You have to tell me the way it is. Good, bad, ugly, we'll deal with it. So I think, yeah, that counts a lot. Mincing words is
Exceptional.
something I don't know, but that's the way he is, and the whole family is like that. With him, you have to be there on the dot.
I
नहीं
think
किया, नहीं
he
किया.
thinks into binary terms. Either it is 0 or 1.
Either it's
It's
black
very
or white.
difficult, but it's good to be real. it's good to be in synergy in what you think, what you say, and what you do.
No, and when he gets angry
Practically,
with
it's
you,
difficult.
he loses his temper. If he figures out कि आपने, you've minced words or you have tweaked the truth to suit the situation or your circumstances, then he gets mad at you. So you're like, no, this is not done. And not with you. Please manage on your own. जो करना है करो. So then he gets angry also. So yeah, maybe. We were born on the same day, Tausif. The years are different. I was born
Oh,
on his
really?
birthday.
Oh, nice.
That's. I think we had the same incident with somebody else on our show. Somebody was talking. I
Yeah,
think.
I
I think
think
me,
so.
you, and the another person. We all three were born in month of Jan, right?
January, actually.
January. Yeah.
January. Okay, okay. But
Yes.
here
Yeah.
both of us are born on
Massimo.
12th
I
of
think
November.
Massimo.
Massimo. I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
There is always something which actually in the universe which actually led people to connect. So I think it's really good to hear something that you have learned from your father, and I can say he must be very disciplined. So
Yes,
I
he
think
is.
no
Good
doubt
one.
about it. We get a lot of
Yes.
guests from army background. Yeah, Piyush, you're saying something.
Yeah. So this so after that, I think you have worked with companies like Wipro and Tele as well, right? So would you
Right.
like to share some experiences about your corporate life, and I mean, which has impacted your life or which taught you the kind of life which you have started living after those experiences?
See, all I can say is, I mean, every organization is very different, right? They all
Correct.
have their pluses, their minuses, right? No organization is perfect. Trust
Of
me.
course.
It could be a small name, a big brand, a Fortune 500 MNC. It doesn't matter. Every organization has its, good, bad, and ugly. I think that the trick to, or not the trick, the way to deal with this is to adjust. Right? See, as an HR professional, I look at stability in resumes. Right? If I see people jumping careers or jobs every 1.5, 2 years, it shows the maturity of the person. Right? It shows how uh, stable he is, or how fickle minded he is, or how somebody is not able to cope with the culture of an organization.
Right.
As far as I am concerned, I have done a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6 years in all my. Wipro was a good 5, on mobile was 6 years, Tally was 3 years. So, and that's what dad says, just be like water, flow. Yeah, just go with the flow, because yeah, no place is perfect. Like no relationship is perfect, right?
Correct.
Every relationship has ups and downs, right? So no
Correct.
corporate is perfect. Tally, if I talk about, it was a very small organization when I joined them. There were about 250 people. They were looking at a strong HR person. I said, okay, chalo, I am in. And in those 3 years, I think we did such fantastic work that we were 800 plus.
Wow.
That's the amount of hiring we did, set up HR
Brilliant.
from scratch, policies, processes. I mean, it was a great ride. And product company, great respect for Tally as a product. Worked with a visionary like Bharat Goenka. Got to work with him, talk to him, listen to him, his vision, his mission. Uh, but then lot of work, because it was like a startup, right? And you have to set up everything from scratch. So personally, for me, it was a great learning curve as well. कि, कैसे
So,
करते हैं? How do you do
so
it?
being an HR expert, what do you suggest if somebody is starting their career?
Hmm.
One should start their career with a startup kind of company or with a properly organized company. Like, if you would
If
like to
if you
suggest.
ask me, Piyush, oh no, that's a fantastic one. If you ask me, Piyush, I would recommend a startup, because you
Okay.
get to learn so much over there. Startups are generally not established, right? Most of the stuff is up in the air. you're supposed to design systems, policies, processes. It could be, you could also be involved in HR automation, HRIS. So that's a very good learning ground. Right.
Right.
So, I mean, and Tally was my second organization, and I hardly had what 4 years of work experience and stuff like that. To me, it became a great learning ground. But then it's easy to get frustrated. क्या है
True.
Nothing here, कुछ भी नहीं है सब कुछ खुद करना पड़ता है or you have to take intelligence from your peer community, outside Tally, or you have to do internet reading and blah blah blah. But then it's easy to get frustrated. But the trick is, nahi, I have to learn, I have to establish myself, I have to make a difference, so that tomorrow when I someday I will leave, right? Or whoever will leave, you feel satisfied कि अच्छा काम किया है. Now let's move on, right?
Right.
It's like you have built a train, you have put the train in the motion, the engine is now running. Now Shikha, let's move on and do different things in life. So it's a very self-satisfying feeling, but it's very easy to get frustrated, to get bored, to get dejected, to say, what is this? कहाँ आ गई बस नहीं. इससे अच्छा तो Fortune 500 ज्वाइन करते, large MNC जहाँ पे everything is there, automation होता है, सारे tools होते हैं, the center of excellence, right, runs all the policies. You're just an implementer. It's good, but then learning ground, I think, is with startups. That would be my personal opinion.
Okay.
I can definitely resonate with this because, Shikha, personally, I have worked with a kind of startup as well as now because of the fact that I'm working with BT, so it's a well-established organization. So I could basically compare both of those organizations, and I could, I can feel that how closely I was working with the system, policies, and tools when I was with almost a company like a startup, and now when I'm working with BT, I am just doing what I'm supposed to do or what I'm asked to do because I'm not a policy maker. I'm not someone who is into design team. I am just an implementer. The project has been signed off. Now you have to implement the project and make sure that your customer is happy. So I would definitely agree with what you're saying, and this has been very much talked about question which Piyush has asked because if I think from a college person point of view, somebody who's just breaking the ice, somebody who's trying to come into corporate, so I think it's really recommended that one should start from startup. I just have one question. Yeah.
Piyush had asked a while back. See these campus kids, right? They will run after big brands, big names, blah blah blah. And this is my example. I don't know whether it makes sense or not, but I'll still tell you. For me, say for example, I have to manufacture a shirt, right? एक short बनाना है. So when I'm in a startup, I will go buy the cloth, stitch the shirt, put the buttons, put the collar, put the sleeves, blah blah blah, package the whole thing, transport it, and deliver it to the customer. So this is the startup, right? I know end to end, right, from buying the material to delivering a finished product to the customer. This is my startup experience. Whereas in a large organization, either I'm in the button department, stitching buttons on the shirt, or I'm in the collar department, fixing the collar, or I'm in the sleeves department or the ironing department. So I know only one piece of the job. So for campus kids, when they ask me, man, this versus this, what versus what, right? Not to quote any company names, I always tell them, go for this one. Spend 2, 3, 4 years थोड़ा मेहनत करो यार, मतलब
Correct.
right, मतलब डायमंड कैसे बनता है, right? Everybody wants to be there, but nobody wants to climb. Everybody wants to I want to be somewhere there. Right? So my suggestion is always go for a smaller brand, a smaller organization, a startup. Learn. You're just 24, man. You're just 25. MBA khatam kiya hai, or maybe even prior to MBA you had 1 year or 2 years of experience. That's it. Learn on the ground. You will earn more respect in the industry because आपने खुद काम किया है.
Right.
That is my guidance to campus kid.
So I just want on the same line, Shikha. So I know for a fact that you do a lot of campus hiring and you have tremendous amount of experience in terms of basically identifying the right set of people for the any organization that you must be hiring for. So, I mean, if you take the skill apart, so apart from skills, what is it that you look into the people? How do you differentiate somebody like somebody who's a very good candidate and somebody who has some opportunity areas, and you may have a feedback for the some candidate. So we have a lot of audience from LinkedIn as well who might be aspiring to look for new jobs, or who might be looking for a change in job. So what is it from an HR perspective? What is it something that you look into a candidate apart from skills?
I will tell you my personal checklist. I'm sure there are a lot of things that HR experts, I mean, there are many experts in the industries, many big names in the industry. But then two, three things which are my personal checklist. One is, what is the attitude of the person?
Hmm.
Correct, right? uh, I mean, is he using me as a stepping stone just to get an offer, or has he done enough homework about my organization to see where he fits in into that overall puzzle,
Hmm.
right? Does he know what roles do I have? What is my company doing? Why is he interested? What is his motive? What is the attitude towards joining this job or taking this offer? So I think that would
Hmm.
be one. That is one. Second, I check on the flexibility. When you talk to these candidates, right? Ma'am, I cannot travel, ma'am. I have, a person at home. My father is not keeping me. As I have, ma'am, I cannot travel. I have 4 dogs. उन कुत्तों का क्या होगा, madam? You get all sorts of answers. I cannot do night shifts because blah blah blah. Boss, you're just 24. If at the age of 24 you have so many constraints in life, tomorrow you will grow up to, you will be, married, you will start running your own family, you will have your responsibilities. अब नहीं कर रहे हो तो तब क्या करोगे? So if the person
Hmm.
doesn't show any flexibility, is very rigid about his personal scenario, to me, I put that candidate on hold. I wouldn't hire such a person because then you're not serious. You have to be open to doing everything, right? Third
Hmm.
is learnability. Ma'am, my qualification is this, right? मेरा background computer science engineering का है. This is what my specialization is in, whatever, in MBA, finance, operations, marketing, blah blah blah. I will only do these kind of roles. Because as a campus kid, you should be open to learning. You should be open to taking
Hmm.
up various roles. And I'm giving you that opportunity. So I typically check, right? So I'm hiring, say, marketing professionals, right? Business development. We take a lot of that kind of population from campus. So, 2 साल के बाद, would you be ready? For a role change? Let's say we put you in pre-sales, solution architecture, right? Which is because pre-sales and sales work very together, very closely,
Hmm.
right? So that could be another career option. Or would you completely move to hunting, or would you completely move to farming, right? I am so and so. I would want to do only this much. So if you don't have the ability to learn, if you're not willing to learn, what will I do with you? Talent, guys, has to be fungible. You should be able to utilize the person across different functions, different segments. And anybody who says, yes, ma'am, it's a learning ground for me, it will be an opportunity for me, it will add value to my resume, blah, blah, blah. Those are the kind of people you need. So for me,
Hmm.
attitude, flexibility, and the ability to learn. I think these are the top three. And then I also look at a culture fit. Will he blend into the culture of my organization? Right?
Hmm.
Will he be a team player? Will he be able to gel well? Will he be able to imbibe well with the system? I think those are the three, four that I've always looked out for, even when I did not have so much of experience, right? And I had to pick up candidates for any organization, even lateral hires. Forget campus.
Hmm.
Lateral hires, maybe people are very fixated with their roles. मैं HR हूँ, मैं HR ही करूँगा. Why? Explore, boss. HR also has different roles. You have within HR, you have L&D, you have recruitment, you have organization behavior. There is so much. Right? But I have been a business partner, and I want to only be a business partner. No,
Hmm.
you have to show certain flexibility. It only enriches your resume, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
So,
I
so
think
that
Piyush,
is
a lot of
what
people
about
who are watching us today, especially from LinkedIn space, they would have definitely learned a lot, in terms of
Absolutely,
how to
absolutely.
basically apply jobs and give the interviews. Because these are the things that I think this is on a very few occasions, an HR would come and talk about their secrets. No one actually spill the beans. so,
So
so this.
in fact, I would love to know this. So with respect to my own business, so just recently, 3 months back only, I resigned from my job, and I am also running my startup. It's a marketing agency. So so I mean, I want to know personally that, and I have been very fascinating about this particular topic, that in a smaller company, like startup kind of company, where I cannot afford someone to appoint as an HR expert or HR official, basically. So what should be done? I mean, in startup kind of company where I cannot appoint someone specifically, but then also I want to take care about certain things, right, from starting only, because I know once I will reach to the certain level, then managing everything will become much difficult. So I don't want to take that chance. So I want to put everything from starting only. I want to put certain system on place. So would you like to give some advice about my kind of company?
Honestly, you should look for people like me.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I'm saying that. Yeah. So, people who are interested in sharing knowledge without expecting anything in return, right? Who are willing to share their expertise, right, for the benefit of someone, right? Like, I mean, I keep talking to a lot of young professionals or professional or campus kids, just to and in these days during COVID times, sorry, I'm digressing. There are a bunch of these guys who've lost their jobs, right? Bunch
True.
of these guys who have lost their internships, right? Experienced people who've lost their jobs because companies have moved towards rationalization, optimization, and all of that.
Mhm.
And there are a bunch of these guys who keep messaging on LinkedIn. I think the least that we can do as an HR professional to the community is to give the right guidance. Right? It
Absolutely.
doesn't
Right.
matter. That's what I'm saying. Look for people like me who will happily partner with you and say, Piyush, okay, fine, this is your startup, this is the setup, this is your current state, what is your mission, what do you want to achieve, right? And then look for these HR experts who will give you the right guidance,
Right.
right? I mean, everything is not money. Actually, money is nothing. If you ask me, it's just nothing. This feeling of feeling of being satisfied at the end of the day. Ki, I have helped somebody who has gained out of my experience or my knowledge is phenomenal. And I
True.
think that again it ties back to the value system of the family, right? It's just phenomenal
Absolutely.
to help people in growing or in achieving their dreams, achieving their goals. Connect with me. I will be one of those who will be happy to help you,
Sure.
and maybe I can also get you like-minded people who would be willing to join. It's a very
Absolutely.
self-satisfying experience, according to me. And
No,
yeah, different
absolutely.
people
In
I
fact,
have.
I
we
mean, there's
completely
no wonder.
resonate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There's no wonder why you are here today. When you
Absolutely.
literally talk about that, at the end of the day, the fulfillment that you get when you help somebody because of your contribution or your help or your support, somebody was able to have his day, and that is truly fulfilling. I mean, no amount of money, no amount of anything else or materialism can actually give you that satisfaction. So I think we both, Piyush and me, have been a strong advocate of this, this fact. And when you actually spoke about this, we can actually feel that frequency.
Guys, it is the
Absolutely.
first time I have ever said so much on any public platform. I mean, it's like I have kind of opened my life out here. I've never done that. But though I'm an HR person, I am a shy, reserved kind of a person. I don't. But yes, I think you guys are. very good at making people talk, and, and and then here I am. Yeah, but then yes, it is a very self-satisfying feeling, right? Helping somebody achieve whatever they want in life, or consoling a broken heart. That heart could be
Hmm.
broken because of various reasons. It could be a relationship ditch, it could be a job loss, it could be a family loss. Just being there. That's the purpose, right? Why were we born? To earn a lot of
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
money, to run in the rat race, to achieve big titles, big degrees, and finally die. No, no.
Die with regrets.
So, in fact,
Correct.
one of our guests, you might be knowing him, Joy Abdullah. So, so
Yes, I do.
he started exploring this question, who am I, after having experience of, I think, more than
32
34
years.
30 32
32 years.
years.
Hmm.
I mean, literally after 32 years, he realized that I need to know
When he
who
passed
am I.
50. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, and
that's
I've watched a couple of episodes of your podcast, and that's what I was telling Tausif. Was it's like forget impromptu is a very technical word. It's like you guys are speaking your heart out. Your guest is speaking his or her heart out. What I mean, what more? See, it's easier to speak on very stereotyped subjects. If you ask me, अभी HR के बारे में बोलना है, I will start off. Right? There's so much here in head that you don't even need preparation. But when you just have to talk about yourself, your life, your experiences, it's a different feeling. It doesn't feel like it's like talking to friends, right?
because
Not
at the end of the day, what we carry with ourselves is like experiences, nothing else, right?
correct,
In
correct.
fact, I was listening to one of the podcasts where somebody said that I don't know why in India we all are in so much hurry that first you complete your school, then you complete your graduation, then you complete your masters, then you directly go into your professional life. So you don't even plan, you don't even think about your life, you don't take that pause in between. 12th खत्म हुआ, graduation खत्म हुआ, masters. One should, in fact, I don't remember the country name, but they have a tradition that once they complete that schooling, they take a literally 1 year of break, and they literally just explore different part of the countries, or they roam around here and there. They literally just, they don't do anything, they just experience.
Hmm, hmm.
And I think
See,
that should be the way, that once you complete one of the stages of your life, you should take a break of 6 months or 1 year, and then you explore yourself. You, in fact, if you just roam around in India for 1 year, I think it will be more than equivalent to an MBA.
Right.
yeah,
And
because
your
life
family
is
would
a
say
great
anything to
teacher,
you.
no? Correct. No, because life is a great teacher, no? I mean,
Absolutely.
because I've traveled so much, seen so much in life, maybe my perspective is different, maybe my perspective is global, and maybe the value system is
Absolutely.
different. Yeah, thanks to my parents, I got that opportunity. And but in India, it's like very stereotyped. School के बाद college in somewhere
Thak,
in
thak, thak.
between, दादी नानी will start off. बेटा शादी का time हो गया है.
हाँ.
24 shadi, 25 shadi, their blood is boiling, right? So all that
Yeah.
happened with me also. 26 shadi, abhi to
I mean,
that,
we are always in hurry. We are always in hurry.
always, so there is okay after shadi, okay, now job, now kids, now it's so very standard.
Of our
This is
decisions are
what your
influenced
life
by
has
our
to
family
do.
members.
Hmm.
Yeah.
क्यों? What's your life? Run it the way you want it, right? क्यों नहीं? अरे वो तो
Exactly.
वहाँ है, उसके 2 बच्चे हो गए, उसको promotion हो गया. Look at you. अरे how does it matter? It's my life. Let me live it the way I want to live it.
Absolutely. We don't
And
even ask questions to ourselves,
correct. You
right?
reminded me very well. Even in Mauritius, right? They have a trend. Once they finish their graduation, they will never go do a post graduation. Never. Either they will do a
Okay.
small certification, NIIT kind of a stuff, or they will start working. Keep bus. enough studies is enough. Let's work for a few years, and then if it's required, then do an executive MBA.
Hmm.
So executive
Right.
MBA is a fashion in that country. And they're
Okay.
like, enough, let's work, enough of studies. So, yeah, and
Absolutely.
that's the way it is over there. हमारे यहाँ नहीं बॉस पहले एमबीए you have to finish MBA and after that you do something or MTech
Hmm.
or MCom or MEd. Finish studies, एक
All
side कर दो
else.
सब कुछ and then you start working.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. So yeah,
But I mean, what do you say? Being an HR expert, is it okay to take a break in career and then start your career once again? But
Piyush, you're talking about a gap in resume. Nobody loves that.
no, but it's okay. I mean, I don't understand my own fraternity. I mean, a lot of HR folks, there is a career gap, blah, blah, blah. See, where the candidate is able to justify as to why. There are many reasons people take a break and very valid reasons. It should be okay. And once you hire the person, anyway, every company has a probation clause, right? The first 6 months, the
Correct.
first 3 months, if
correct.
you're hiring a campus hire, right, the first 1 year, everybody's on probation, right? Watch the person for 6 months. If he proves to be an asset, confirm him, let him move on in life with your company. If he doesn't, then fair enough. You have to part ways, say goodbye, thank you, maybe sometime in future. But the fact that you don't want to hire that person is not right. And
Right.
especially now, say for example, Corona, right? Multiple people are facing multiple challenges, right?
True.
Hmm.
With families being sick and a lot of things not being in place. So I'm sure anybody looking out for a job next year will definitely have a resume gap because so many people have got laid off. Correct? Was it their fault?
True.
No, right? But then when we hire them next year, whenever we decide to hire them, we will penalize them.
True.
Gaps are not great. It is perfectly. I will tell you without names. I have a person in my team. She was on a gap for two. She has a career gap of 2 years because she conceived. She became a mother. She has a beautiful little girl. Today, Piyush, that girl is the rock star in the team. She
Wow.
generates the
Wow.
maximum number of offers, joiners for me. But she wasn't working for the last 2 years, but she's amazing. It's just that you take that 1 week to brush up your
Hmm.
concepts, right? But nobody, if recruiting or if HR is in your DNA, you won't just forget it. It's okay if you have not worked. So I give that example to anybody who I meet now. Look, I have her. She wasn't working for 2 years, and look at her now. So I took that risk. I said we'll watch her for 6 months, and she's turned out to be amazing. Now that I'm looking for people, career break pe hain. I think they come back with that fresh approach, fresh energy, and they're ready to what conquer the world. So maybe she's that sort of variety. To me, personally, breaks don't matter. You have to see what is the potential of the candidate.
True.
I think that's very kind of you because if I look at the from the person who is at the receiving end, somebody, because I have also done a lot of hiring, within last 4 to 5 years. I have been to campuses. I have hired in experienced individuals as well. I have interviewed people, and people in my friend circle, they actually hesitate to talk about the real thing as a reason of why they had the resume gap. They try to actually manipulate, and they try to come up with something else as a reason to actually justify that gap, and I think that's where the problem occurs. And as you really rightly said, that if somebody can justify with proper evidences and give right answers, I think, but they need to have people like you then, because it also depends the kind of person who is
Absolutely.
interviewing you.
That's
Yeah,
very
because
crucial.
there are a lot of people in my own fraternity who do not welcome breaks. So that's why this candidate is
That's the
either
reason.
forced to give excuses or is helpless and gives excuses, doesn't give proper justification, or tries to hide things and stuff like that. I think breaks are perfectly all right. You just have to see what is the potential of the candidate. And anyway, all the companies interview, right? Every candidate goes through one minimum one to a maximum of say 4 or 5 rounds of discussions. And during those discussions, you will anyway figure out how good or bad he or she is, right? Whether
Correct.
he has the potential or not. A lot of companies have also have a
Absolutely.
practice of giving homework. Say, for example, I'm hiring a marketing professional. तो मैं उसको बोलती हूँ बॉस take 3 days, design a marketing strategy and come back. Let me see what is your
Hmm.
thought process, what can you. So he
Perfect.
comes back after 3 4 days. He comes back with the presentation, says that this is the market penetration, these are the clients, this is what I will do, this is my approach, this is my strategy. So you know how the person is thinking. Okay, if you like it, hire. If you're not convinced, give some assignment, give some homework, give the person a chance. Is all I'm saying,
Hmm.
right? And then see how he or she performs.
I think that's
It's all.
people should learn
It's
this
always about.
strategy.
Absolutely.
No,
It's
I
always
mean,
about giving a chance.
I do it.
Absolutely.
If you're not convinced, once I was hiring a candidate, and this was, I think at Wipro, yeah. I wasn't very convinced कि उसका so I was hiring a recruiter. Her search strings, how good is she with the search strings on Naukri.com or Monster.com? So I said, do you have half an hour to 40 minutes? She said, yes, I do. I said, would you do this? I gave her some three job descriptions. And I said, would you give me 2 to 3 resumes against each? Right? And here is the job portal access and blah, blah, blah. She said, yeah, why not? So we left her, we gave her a laptop and we left her in the room. And she came back with some amazing profiles. So this was like an online, I mean, real time test, 30 minutes or whatever. And I was like, yes, boss, these resumes are apt to the job description. They look good on paper, they look good. Let's just hire her. That's it. And we hired that girl. So there are different ways. She did not have a
I
career
can
yet. She
resonate.
was working, but I was not convinced if she was a good fit for the team. So we did that. And she happily accepted. She said, yeah, let me give it a shot. And then we hired that girl. So it doesn't mean people who are working are good. Even people who are working, you can still doubt how good they are. And if you want to check, just give them a small test or an exam. If the person is ready, and I hired her, and she did well. So I mean, it
Hmm.
worked well.
Super.
I think God has been
Super.
kind. That's all I can say.
I think
So,
that's what breaks the
lastly,
best out of the people.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
sending somebody back home saying that you are rejected or you're not hired or you're not good enough. See, everybody is genuinely good unless he or she proves herself wrong. So
Correct.
you have to believe that people are genuinely nice and trustworthy unless they prove us wrong. So why unnecessarily reject? Let's give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least I tried.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
You won't have
So
a regret
lastly,
of not trying.
Shika, would love to know that as you are into HR and recruiting and all. So currently, there are like, as you said, there are a lot of people who are facing problems with respect to their jobs and all. So, what will be that one advice which you would like to give to such people, or so that they can hold them back and wait for a while, and then eventually, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, they will definitely get a job, and life will once again get back
Hmm.
to its routine. What will be your one advice to those
I
people?
think it's a great question.
I know. I'm thinking now this is gonna listeners are gonna listen to it, right? So two things which I've always told the campus kids as well. And I think the same logic will apply here too. If somebody gets rejected in a few interviews or a couple of interviews, two things are very important. One, he should not lose hope, get dejected, start
Hmm.
sulking, you get into a silo, become a loner, I'm useless, self pity, self depression. No. Second thing that should happen is he should use that time, okay, he should take a break. Say, I will not apply for jobs for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. And during that break that this candidate takes, he should one, brush up his concepts. Second, network. LinkedIn is a great platform, right? And plus, he will have friends, colleagues from his previous organization. Network with people, right? And sell himself or herself a little, right? Present to themselves, present himself as a brand or as an opportunity that the person sees. Okay, I can do this. I am capable of doing this. Blah blah blah. And in tandem with that, the resume should be updated. So highlight your strengths, highlight your USPs, network with people rather than getting into that self pity, self depression kind of a mood. That's not gonna help anyone, right? And it's good to sometimes, like you said, right, in this particular country, people take a 1 year break after they finish studies. So any job seeker who's hunting daily to land up with a job, ask him to halt, take a break, step back, analyze what's gone wrong in the last 5 interviews. Maybe the resume was not up to the mark. Maybe the cover letter was bad. Maybe he did not answer the interview
Hmm.
questions properly. Maybe he did not apply for the right job, right? The resume and the job description have to have a match somewhere. So there could be
Right.
multiple reasons why the candidate is getting rejected. If you fix these
Right.
little mistakes, step back and fix these little mistakes, I think your chances of getting a job will be much higher.
Mm.
Right? Very little things.
I think
I've seen candidates who send resume to me, Piyush, without a subject line. It's a
Oh,
blank email with an attachment. So,
I think
right,
there's
we
a
have
huge scope of
small,
learning.
small things.
huge scope of learning, and most of these companies advertise their positions on the careers website, right? So pick up the job ID. If you want to email, do that. If you want to apply on the job portal, anywhere you go through that rigor. But if you still want to email the company to the careers ID, pick up the subject line, the job role, the job ID, put it in the subject line and say, write a small paragraph, introduce yourself, I'm so and so, and I'm applying for this job, blah blah blah. One attachment, blank subject line, send. When you think you will ever get a call, if I have filtering mechanisms in my Microsoft Outlook, I do a filter on subject. There's no subject. So all the blank emails come at the bottom or at the top.
True.
It doesn't
True.
come in my, I'm searching for, say, .NET architect. There's no subject line, but it's a brilliant resume. It won't come in my search because there's no subject line there. So little things, updating the resume, showing their strength, networking with people, participating in some forums, some discussions, right, where you can get an opportunity to maybe even become a speaker or an audience, connect with people, and then go about searching the job again. But a good thing would be to step back and analyze as to what's going on. You have to
I
find
think
I
out
think
what's
it's a
that's
happening.
brilliant
very,
advice.
very important. Instead of running here and there, one should take a pause and think about what are the things where one should improve.
Because
Great piece of
these days,
advice.
guys, there are plenty of jobs in the market. The scenario was very different till, say, October, November, December last year. The market was slow, the market was dull. But last 2, 3 months have been great. Name a company which is not hiring. Every brand is hiring today. There are multiple openings at different levels. I don't think so. It should be a challenge for the job seekers, but then they have to do the
Provided
right
you have
thing
skills.
to get into that queue of
Hmm.
resume shortlisting. If you don't
True.
apply the right way, you will never get a call. And if you don't apply for the right job, you will never get selected. I'm just saying. So,
Definitely.
Great.
And I think it's a blend of what, if I talk about the extract of this podcast and the learning. So it's a blend of attitude and skills. When you don't have a subject line, it talks about your attitude, how serious you are towards picking that job up, and
absolutely.
then or maybe it may be a lack of a skill as well. So it's a blend of your attitude and the skill. So all the listeners, all the job seekers, all the people who are trying to change the job, I think it's a brilliant advice. And if we could just go back, analyze, and look at small little mistakes and fix them and go back strongly again, the chances would definitely increase. And you have shared these small tips, but these are really effective. And I can confidently say that because I have myself made a lot of mistakes in my career in last 10 to 12 years, and I can definitely resonate with them.
No, I think if anybody for that matter, guys, if you have the right attitude, I think you can make mountains move. I don't know which philosopher has said that, right? A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You cannot move the car
True.
with a flat tire.
True.
So if you lack aptitude, you lack skills, you can still learn that. There are various online learning platforms which can enable the skill gap, the aptitude gap, and stuff like that. But if you lack on the attitude side, you cannot, nobody can teach it. It has to be right here that you have to have the right attitude to do anything in life.
Absolutely.
So that's
So I
important.
think,
Absolutely, I think.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
I just
think,
wanted to add one thing.
yeah, please.
Yeah, sorry. So I just wanted to add that, one last final quote: either be a lion and hunt, or be a sheep and be slaughtered. So I think that's what I can resonate. And I think it's been an amazing conversation, and we didn't even
Absolutely.
realize that it's been more than 1 hour
More
we have
than
been
an
discussing,
hour.
Oh,
and
really?
it was an intense and very interesting discussion. It
Yes,
was
yes.
really an interesting discussion and very meaningful. And in these, moments, we didn't realize about the time. We lost a track of time just because of the fact that you have added so much of value today. And I'm pretty sure people who have been watching, they would have got benefited a lot. And because of the fact
Absolutely.
that these sessions would be, kept and available on YouTube, I think it would be available on YouTube. So people who wants to revisit or watch the replay, they can always, refer to these links, because this discussion has been really useful with respect to the people who are looking for jobs and overall well-being as well. If somebody has lost their job, or somebody is trying to change the job, I think, or somebody who is into human resource, because we have got a fresh perspective. I have personally got somebody who is talking about, trying to
Absolutely.
put some efforts to hire people. Otherwise, I've seen people, I've been to campus, people don't even bother to, go into details and, think about even giving a second chance. So I think it's definitely a fresh perspective, and it comes with a lot of character and attitude, as you rightly mentioned. Family values are, at your back, and it also talks about your family and your values and the cultures. So I just want to personally thank you. Thanks a lot for actually showing your interest and coming up. And as we were talking in the morning, that it requires a lot of courage to actually volunteer and, come on such platform. And it is only because of the fact that there is something in the universe which connect the right people with the right mind. So I really loved the session. So yes,
Absolutely.
Piyush, you want to
Same
say
here.
something?
Yeah. So as Tausif said, it's a privilege to have your kind of experienced person and listen to you. And I mean, there must be a lot of people who are going to be benefited by your knowledge, experience, and wisdom. So thanks a lot for accepting our invitation and giving. I mean, more than 70 minutes we have been talking. So thanks a lot.
Wow.
We really appreciate.
Honestly, like I said, I think you're the first set of people in my life who I have shared so many experiences with. Never ever done it. It's always been within the close family circle. It felt good remembering school, childhood days, different countries, profession. Honestly, thank you for the opportunity, and I hope the listeners will take some key takeaways from this session. And we'll stay in
Absolutely.
touch, all three of us.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we
And
would be
More
honored
than
to have
happy to
another
help.
session.
Sure, more than happy to help Piyush with my
absolutely.
HR
We'll
expertise
connect.
whenever you need it. We'll connect.
Sure. Sure.
So
Sure.
kind of you,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you.
Take care,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank
Thank you
you
Stay
so
so
much.
much.
safe.
Good
Take
night.
care.
Stay
See you
Good
soon.
night.
indoors.
Take care. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.